Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bionicle Moc Showcase with your host, Pilot of Solus. In today's episode, we're going to change up the way we do things a little bit, but don't worry, we're still going to have a teaser image for the next Moc at the end of the episode, so stick around for that. Today we're going to be covering the Matoran of Lekra Magna, and we have a whole 4 Mocs to cover in this episode, so let's get into the video. The first of the 4 Matoran that we'll be covering today is Teray. You would have definitely recognized Teray from episode 1 of Bionicle Moc Showcase, though then he appeared in his Toa form. Teray is one of the hunters who ventures out into the jungles in Lekra Magna to search for food. This requires him to bring a lot of useful tools, such as an axe, and though it's not pictured here, he also has a machete that was gifted to him by Toa Viara. Even if Teray is a Matoran, he is still very good at using the tools and weapons that were given to him. It's also worth noting that as a Matoran, Teray actually wore a Konohi Ruru, instead of the Miru disguised as a Hau that he has now as a Toa. Teray's build is pretty complex compared to the other Matoran that are going to be mentioned in this video. This is actually the second build that I've made for Teray's Matoran form, but one thing that has stayed consistent in this build is the foot piece on the back. Though it might seem a bit out of place with all like the orange paint and stuff kind of clashing with the color scheme, I thought it actually kind of fit in with the environment that the Matoran were living in, which is very harsh and unforgiving. The paint being all scratched up and everything made it seem like the Matoran had been through a lot. Now that we've talked some more about Teray, I think it's time we moved on to someone new, and this is Haori. In addition to being Teray's best friend, Haori is also another hunter. His gear for hunting includes a pair of swords that he can throw on his back by putting them through the tubes. He also wears a noble Konohi Kakama. Matoran Haori is actually pretty similar to Toa Haori. Not in like their build or anything, but like the mask they wear is quite similar, as well as like the red tubes and the color scheme. Even though Haori does have quite the simple build, I do still like him a lot. And I've always imagined that Haori would have an accent for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know, works for me. Don't know why I thought you needed to know that, but the more you know, I guess. Teray is also another new character in this episode, and he's also another one of those hunters. Teray wears a Konohi Akaku, and his choice of weapon is a bow. And just like Teray, his mask is actually very different compared to the one that his Toa form has. He's built in pretty much the same way as Haori, but he does have a few differences, particularly in the arms and legs. Matoran Teray is the only one of my Mocs that uses something other than a Lego piece. The pouch he carries on his back is actually made out of sticky notes and tape, which is some intelligent construction on my part. There's a hole in the back of the pouch for a pin to be stuck through, and that's how it's attached to Teray's back. After we review Toa Haori in episode 5, we're going to take a look at Toa Teray next. And now is the obligatory section in the video where I tell you about how you need to like the video and subscribe to get notified when new videos come out. Matoran Wavelis is actually my newest Bionicle Moc, and in a similar fashion is another new character that you haven't seen yet. Unlike the other Matoran that we've covered this episode, Wavelis is more of a scholar rather than a hunter that goes out and kills creatures. But even if she doesn't need it, Wavelis does still carry a combat knife with her just in case. Wavelis wears a teal-green Konohi Miru, and that mask is actually identical to the one that she wears now as a Toa. Since Wavelis is a much newer Moc compared to the other Matoran, I have made changes to her since the teaser image came out from the last episode of Bionicle Moc Showcase. I made the changes to give the legs more articulation, as before they were kinda stiff and didn't move very much. We will of course be covering Toa Haori in the next episode. So, let's say it together guys, make sure to like and subscribe to get notified when the next video releases. And I know you've been expecting a teaser image, so Papa Solus has got you covered. This is the teaser image for the next episode of Bionicle Moc Showcase. And well, I guess that's everything, so, bye.